Hey gamers, I am Snag7. Hope we're all well, guys. I thought I'd try and squeeze in another video before the big Blackpool weekend. So I thought it's about time I did another ntsc Super Nintendo Collections video. Last time I left it on the D category, so we're going to be bypassing the E and going straight to the F category because I've got no games in the E category. But before we start, just 2 pointers I want to point out. Pete Snes-tastic, he noticed in the last episode I put a game in the wrong category. Obviously, Death and Return of Superman I put in the D category, but realistically it should have been in the T, being the Death and Return of Superman. So well spotted, Pete. And Rich, basically you asked me where do I get my grading system for the games. I just used my SNES Collectors app on my iPhone, and it just say as a C, basically 1 being not so rare, 12 being rare. So hopefully that clears up some points, guys. So let's crack on to the games. 7 games to show you, a few different letters to go through this week. So let's start with the 2 that are in the F category. Now the first game is an iconic racing game for the system, one of its first releases, and obviously the game to show off the Mode 7, and obviously it is F-Zero. Absolutely fantastic game. All-time favourite racing games for me. Obviously a majority of us are going to say Mario Kart is, but for me it's just, I just love this game. The music, the tracks, the gameplay. It just, you know, as being one of the very first releases for the system as well, it's just one of them games that's, you know, so much nostalgia for it. It just makes me want to play and play and play. But as I say, this is in absolutely pristine condition. This obviously being a million sellers edition, but I'm not really too fussed about that. I'm just bothered about the game's complete and it is in, you know, pristine condition, which I'm very, very happy with. As I say, one of the first games to show off the Mode 7, and it is just a fantastic, fantastic racing game. The rarity on this one is only 3 out of 12, but at the end of the day, it's still an iconic game and one any SNES owner should have in their collection. So that, guys, is F-Zero. Now, the next and last game in the F category is a game that I've showed you before in a previous pickups video a couple of months ago. This was, as I said before, I really had this already on the Genesis. That's when I very first played this game, and specifically bought the Genesis version for the artwork, because I weren't too keen on the PAL and European artwork, box art. So I picked up, which took me a while to find, to be honest, in complete condition, in the condition I've got it in, Flashback, The Quest for Identity. And the artwork for me is far superior than the PAL version. I just like it. Some variants of box art I just prefer, so this is one of them. And as I can say, you know, this took me a while to get, and this is in very, very nice condition. And a fantastic side-scrolling action platformer. It's had its sequels, obviously Fade to Black on the PS1, and it weren't too bad. You know, the style of gameplay differed obviously to the original, but I still always would like to go back and play the Flashback. It's just a classic game. But the rarity on this one, guys, is 6 out of 12, so that is not too bad at all. So there, guys, is the next game and last game in the F category. That is Flashback. Moving on to the G category. I've only got one game in this, and it's a shmup. I call them shmups. Yes, you probably hate that, but for those out there, shoot 'em ups. But there you go. As I say, I've got a couple of shoot 'em ups or shmups in my collection. I'm not very good at them. That's all I can say. I'm not the greatest of shoot 'em up fanatics, and you know, I play them, but I just can't get anywhere. So I'm just going to show you what I see and tell you what I think about it. And the game I've got is Gradius 3. Typical shooter, hard as nails because I'm no good at any shooter. But graphically this one is quite a good game. I do really like this game. Graphics are quite good on this. Very, very good. But as I say, just one of many Gradius variants for different systems. So this I'm just very happy to have in the collection. I'll probably never ever do it but never mind, it's just still another enjoyable solid shoot 'em up to add into the collection. Rarity on this one is a 5 out of 12, so that isn't bad also. So there you go guys, as I say, I'll show you over again, absolutely pristine condition, wouldn't have it any other way. So there you go guys, that is the last game in the G category, and that's Gradius 3. Right, onto the H category. We've got one in the H category. G, H. Yep, H. I'm losing my track again. Now this one also you've seen a couple of months ago in one of my pickup videos. This is part of the package. I got this in Flashback and another one. But I'd say another side-scrolling platformer. Not a bad game at all, to be honest. You either like it or you hate it, but I quite like this game. And to find this in the condition I did took me a while again. But obviously it's Hook. Very, very nice condition. Really, it's not a bad little game. It has its issues with collision detection, obviously. But apart from that, the game itself plays quite well and is a really good side-scrolling platformer. It is supposed to be quite easy, but I ain't found it that easy. I haven't completed it as yet, but like most games, I just haven't sat my arse down and played because I've got that many games. I just don't get the chance to play things. So anyway, as I say, to find this in the condition that I got it in, because I've waited a while to get a hold of this, and I managed to eventually, and it is in pristine condition and definitely worth a play if you haven't got any collection. Now the rarity on this one is a measly 3 out of 12, but not too bothered about the rarity, it's just the gameplay and the enjoyment of it. So there you go guys, that's the one and only game in the H selection, that's Hook. Right, bypassing I, because I've got no games in I, we're on to J. And I've got 2 games in the J category. And the first one is a game that I very first saw last year when I went to Wolverhampton. I think it was the Revival in Wolverhampton. I actually sat down in Adigo on the PAL system and played this game, and I thought it weren't too bad at all. And obviously I have this thing with my Super Nintendo, I have in and out phases where I collect for it and stop, collect for it and stop. And this, when I played this game, it kind of gave me the incentive to start it up again, and I managed to find a good copy of it. Obviously NTSC for a fairly good price, which gave me the bug again to start my NTSC collection off again. So the game is Judge Dredd. Really nice condition, but as I say, it's a typical side-scrolling action platforming game. Not bad at all, to be honest. There is another game, and to me it's just a rehash of this game with a different movie license over the top. Whether I get it or not I don't know, but obviously Demolition Man is to me exactly the same style of gameplay, it's just a different movie license on the cover and they've changed the graphics slightly. But I picked up this one first. Follows the movie to more or less a T, to be honest. But as I say, a very good game and quite a challenging one at that, to be honest. So happy to have that one. The rarity on old Judge Dredd is a measly 3 out of 12, but yet again, it's the enjoyment factor and having it in really nice condition that matters to me. So there you go guys, that's Judge Dredd. And then the last game in the J category is one, I think this is, somebody might be able to tell me, I think this is a reissue of this game, because I'm sure there was another cover variant for this for the NTSC when I very first seen this. I didn't get on with the very first game, I didn't like it, but this one is more of a side-scrolling action platforming game anyway, and it's very difficult, to be honest, I think. But the game is Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues, and as you can see, do let me know in the comments, because I know full well there was a variant cover for this on the NTSC, and I'm sure there was. But the game itself is not a bad game, but it's blooming difficult, I can say that much. But obviously I bought this, you're going back about 5 years now more, and I paid £20 brand new sealed, so it's been looked after, so it's in pristine condition. But the game itself, a very difficult game. Obviously, you probably wouldn't make it out, but you see, obviously, it's side-scrolling action shootout. You got variants of weapons and things like that. You got to take out dinosaur bosses and that. But haven't got very far in this one. Haven't given it a chance, to be honest with you. But As I say, the very first Jurassic Park weren't my cup of tea, so I was glad to get this one, and it is a good game. Deserves more playtime, to be honest. So there you go, guys. That is the last game in the J category, and that's Jurassic Park. The chaos continues, and the rarity on that one is another measly 3 out of 12. Right, guys, on to the final game, and we're into the K category now. And this is one, I ain't too sure if I've showed you any fighting games yet. This may be the first one, I can't remember. But this one is not a bad conversion to the system, but it's not great either. The best conversion I've played is obviously the N64 version. Next to the arcade, you just can't beat the arcade obviously, but the N64 is a good conversion. But this, glad to have it in the collection. Fully complete, pristine, and you know, Rich, you know exactly what it is when you see it. It's Killer Instincts, and this is in absolutely pristine condition, not a blemish. When I got this, it was obviously part sealed, but I took the seal off so I could get it into the Sentinel cases. But you know, as I say, this isn't a bad conversion for the system. You know, I've seen worse, but as I say, like, you know, it's complete. It's got the Killer Cut soundtrack in it. It's got everything. It's absolutely pristine condition. And you know, I wouldn't say rush out and buy this game. Play better fighters, but if you can get it box complete, absolutely worthy of adding to the collection. So there you go, guys. That is the final game in this little episode for my ntsc collection. Hope you've enjoyed it, guys. But before I go, good news on the comments front. I can actually now comment to your comments, so I won't ignore you ever again. So you leave comments, they will be replied, I promise you. So I'm glad I can get some comments back up, because I've just felt so bad not being able to comment or reply to people's comments. So that's all good news. And the other bit of good news I've heard is a good fella, Ocarina fella, Carl, is going to Blackpool, which I'm so happy for, because I'm very, very much looking forward to meeting him. And obviously Daz Cajones Deloro has done the honours and sorted him out for some overnight stay. So that is just a top thing for Daz to do. And like me, like most of us, we're all pretty glad that he's going to make it. And I'm absolutely chuffed that he's coming, so I'll be able to meet him at last. But anyway, guys, enough yak. All I'm going to say is I'll see you at Blackpool Friday night, if you're there. If not, I'll see you Saturday. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. And as always, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, keep watching. All the best.